I would like to open questions, Q&A, from the floors. Who would like to volunteer as the first questioner? Please, hands up. No questions? Yes, please. Introduce yourself and university as well.
Hi, I'm Devi. I'm a PhD student here in the University of Groningen. I take pharmacy, so I kind of know about the medical research experience between here and the Netherlands. But what I would like to know from the presenters is, you define a lot of problems in Indonesia, but what do you find as an advantages or our strengths culturally or structurally back in Indonesia?
This is a question to whom? To each of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Richo.
Thank you.
Please.
Yes, Mbak. According to professor in sociology of law in University of Bernoulliborg, actually Indonesia is the most interesting part for conducting legal research, because there are too much anomaly in there. Because there are a lot of problems, then it is also easier for young researcher to collect, to pick up a research problem, one or two. So
because we have too many problems, then we can research all of them.
Yeah, precisely. And then it will also bring us to the another methodology that probably not match that is usually used in here. So, for instance, my professor tried to be more linear. So, if there is a problems in the society, then it means that there are problems in the regulations. If there is a problem, what I should do is find a problem in the regulations, try to enhance it, and as a consequence, the problems will be solved directly. But in Indonesia, it will not be happen like that. Good regulation, it doesn't mean that a good order in the society. Because we, so at this point, one thing that we first point is we have a better opportunity to make research, but then we also have to criticize the methodology that probably offered by institution in here, which is probably not directly matched with my research, our research.
Thank you very much. Firstly, actually I already mentioned in my first slide that what is the advantage being Indonesian or being Indonesian researchers, because we have many problems. Like I said, that why my professor chose me, because I come from Indonesia, that I have many factories. Yeah, I have many factories, and I have many factories that can be learned that's not yet here. And also why I am not, I didn't say that is it easy, but I don't have any difficulty to publish or accepted my publication into the top 25 journals, the Q1 journals, because the problems that I have is still novel problem. That's the first one. And I also, the other thing is, lastly, when I was in Amsterdam, because of my research, also I was offered also by the professor that the NIOS, National Institute of Health, they need people, and he proposed me to be one of the researchers in NIOS in the States, United States, because I'm Indonesian and I know a lot. I have a lot of experience research in a particular things, but that's not make me want to go there anyway. But sometimes maybe because I want to go back to Indonesia. But that's true that there are, especially for the laboratory, as you know that laboratory. I know very well that we in Indonesia, we have a lot of equipment that actually already here also. So the high-tech equipment, something like a MKCMS, the LTR, HPLC, everything is there. High performance liquid chromatography, everything is there. Even in Gajah Mada, that when I work, and in kedokteran, there will be 2 or 3 HPLC in one university. But what happened when I worked there, I have very difficulty. I try to work to make a examination, and my laboratory is rejected. I go to chemistry, and then even I go to the UNS and I go to ITP, I have a problem. But it's not happen here in the Netherlands. Even my colleagues from pharmacy have a problem. It's very easy entering my lab in dermatology to use my microscope spectrometry, something like that. So there is no barrier of it. But I'm very like Buyati. I'm very confident that hopefully in Indonesia we will make it better. So that's why they send us here to learn a lot, and then of course we have back there. But this my yeah, and the other one also the patient. The patient is easy to get in Indonesia. So for the clinical trial, that's why I always done in the clinical trial phase 2 in Indonesia because of it. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. What are Indonesia and being Indonesian is an advantage. There are fish, huge number of fish, but how to get the fish? We can learn from the Netherlands context. So we are the one who know exactly this fish is, that fish are. So this is in fact like Buyati mentioned before. We have to know exactly what we are dealing with the Indonesian context. Related to my research, for example, why I did my research in Indonesia? Because for me, it is a bit difficult to find poor people in terms of my terminology. That's why I did my research in Indonesia, to try to understand what is exactly the poor, including following their definition. Because poverty sometimes can be defined as physical or monetary indicator, but in fact it is not. Being poor in Indonesian context would be many things. So in fact there is many fish in Indonesia, so try to find that, and this would be our advantages in maybe building a cooperation with others. Like for example, I found that those speaking Java, of course Japanese, you know, usul mikul, yeah, digest, yeah, suggest digest in while a translation in English, usul mikul, it means suggest, digest. It means that it is bit of huge discussion on post-structuralism, who take action, they got a role. So keep trying to know exactly what is being Indonesia and what are in Indonesia, and this would be our strength in front of our colleague outside. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih. Thank you very much for the comments. If I may, I'd like to add on something. As a scientist who live in Europe, I found that being Indonesian is also advantageous, not just because we've got a lot of problems, and we can turn those problems, I don't like to call them as a problems though, I like to call them as a challenge.
Yeah.
So we turn those challenges into our opportunity. However, bear in mind, if you want to survive in the international academic community, talent is not the only thing that you have to master, but also your networking, your public speaking skills, your presentation skill. Particularly, the most important thing is your academic writing. Yeah. Because basically, what I've read, bear in mind, I also want to mention that we've got the next session in ICIT conference, yeah, and also the one in London, organized by PPI Belanda, PPI London, PPI Prancis. So the most important thing is the quality of the abstract or the full paper. And sometimes, to be honest with you, I am a bit disappointed, because to me this is still descriptive. What you have to do basically is try to switch your mind from being descriptive or just providing do and don'ts and bullet points. Try to use the analytical, critical thinking. And that's the thing that I've been learning over the last 12 years, being in Europe, in the UK, the Netherlands, and elsewhere. And that's the most important thing, that we have to switch our mind, critical thinking approach. So when you present your stuff, well, you might have a comment, well, this is too descriptive, you know. So what? So what question? That's the most important thing, question that you have to ask yourself. And one point, as it has been mentioned, is the most important thing of IPR. Citation. You have to understand not to be plagiarism. Even in Groningen, I heard a couple of weeks ago, one of the professors in criminology, his PhD was suspended by one of the university in Brussels because plagiarism. So the most important thing as an international student, when you go to Europe, make sure that you do understand the notions of IPR, how to cite those articles properly, how to look at those academic references professionally, and do not try to copy and paste, because definitely this is a crime in academia world, okay? And well, we've got the expert here from the medical and from the social sciences as well as the law. So I do hope while you are here, make the most of your time to understand the rule of the game of the international academics. And one of the outlet, please go to our ISIT in The Hague in September, as well as in London or in France. Okay? Thank you very much. That's the end of the session 2.